Start with audio soundbite number 2, and we'll go to number 3. This is Last Night in Des Moines, Iowa. And we're welcoming you back, by the way, to Open Line Friday. Rush Limbaugh here, behind the golden EIB microphones, the Iowa State Fairgrounds, and Obama.
The main goal of a financial firm like Governor Romney's is not to create jobs. And by the way, the people who work at these firms will tell you that's not their goal. Their main goal is to create wealth for themselves and their investors. When maximizing short-term gains for your investors, rather than building companies that last, is your goal, then sometimes it goes the other way. Workers get laid off, benefits disappear, pensions are cut, factories go dark. Now, that may be the job of somebody who's engaged in corporate buyouts. That's fine. But that's not the job of a president. That's not the president's job. There may be value for that kind of experience, but it's not in the White House.
Exactly right, because when you do it in the White House, every business you underwrite goes bankrupt. Solyndra, every green industry. You know, Obama doesn't know what only government can do this kind of stuff, right? Only government can create jobs. Only government knows what it's doing. We're going to go through a list of private sector companies Obama bankrolled or lent money to or otherwise funded, and find out what happened to every one of them, and none of them created any jobs. But that's for later. A little blurb here from a website called Complete Colorado. I had never heard of this website. Human Events and Fox News have picked up the news here on this website. It's been validated and confirmed. Obama National Co-Chair Venture Capital Vampire. President Obama continues to hammer Mitt Romney on his record with Bain Capital. In a fundraiser on Wednesday in Denver, Obama continued to push the venture capital vampire theme, saying what Governor Romney doesn't seem to get is that a healthy economy doesn't just mean a few folks maximizing their profits through massive layoffs or busting unions. Well, we wonder if former Denver mayor and Clinton Transportation and Energy Secretary Federico Pena happened to be in the audience and if he agreed. Because Pena has been a partner at private equity firm Vestar Capital since 2000. And while President Obama has been giving private equity a bad name, both Federico Pena and Vestar Managing Director James Kelly have made recent contributions to Obama's reelection efforts. Furthermore, Pena's record as a venture capital investor dates even back to his 2008 days when he served as Obama's national campaign co-chair. So when he's running Obama's campaign, he's also in private equity. Let's examine the recent humanitarian record of Vestar Capital. In March of 2011, Vestar acquired 100% of Del Monte Foods through a leveraged buyout. 2011, a little over a year ago. 2 weeks ago, Del Monte announced the closure of a plant in Kingsburg, California, slashing 1,000 jobs. I'm extraordinarily disappointed by Del Monte to make this decision, said the Kingsburg mayor, Bruce Blaney. The major blow to the local economy. Roughly 8 years ago, Vestar Capital purchased the Solo Cup Company. It's Obama's national co-chair that runs the thing. According to a 2007 report, the Solo Cup Company, with Vestar as a parent firm, shut down 3 U.S. factories as early as 2010, with Vestar still as the parent company. Solo Cup announced plans to shut an 80-year-old factory, cutting more than 540 jobs. In 2002, Vestar acquired frozen food giant Birdseye Foods. You've heard of all these companies, right? You've heard of Del Monte. You see Solo Cups every time you go to a ballpark or a concession stand, and you've heard of Birdseye Foods. 2002, Vestar acquired Birdseye. 4 years later, they laid off approximately 500 workers. Some of them were employed at Birdseye for 15 to 30 years, according to Channel 7 KGO San Francisco. If the president intends to make this election about Romney's record at Bain, then his buddy, Democrat Federico Pena and James Kelly, had better come clean about the layoffs at Del Monte, Solo Cup Company, and Birdseye Foods. If not, Mr. Pena might not be available to stand on the campaign stage with Obama at his next Colorado rally. So, in a nutshell, what we have here is Obama blasting the vampires at private equity firms for laying people off. And meanwhile, his 2008 national co-chair, former Denver mayor Federico Pena, has been a senior partner at a private equity firm since 2000, and Pena's firm has been laying off workers. If vampire capitalists... By the way, Solo Cup Company is still around, and Birdseye Food is still around, and Del Monte is still around. Probably because of Vestar. The dirty little secret is these are all troubled companies, the most part, that private equity firms buy. They're already in trouble. If they weren't purchased, if they weren't rescued, everybody that works at these companies would eventually be fired because the companies would go out of business. The venture capitalists come in and attempt to save the company. If the risk pays off, they are rewarded. Part of saving a company is cutting expenses, and that is labor. It's number one expense anywhere. But if vampire capitalists are destroying the country, why is Federico Pena co-chairing Obama's campaign? And why is Obama holding a $35,000 a head fundraising dinner at private equity firms like BlackRock? And why are all the private equity Democrats telling Obama, shut up about this? And all the mayors and all the governors say, shut up about it. Because private equity is helping them.